Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Devin and I are doing a discussion over Feralis, Obscure Land, the core set, specifically. This is a game that... Did we both just do that? That's funny.
We should kiss.
Yeah, like, hold on, we'll be right back. This is a game that, as it showed up on my doorstep, I was like, what is this game? Ooh. No, it wasn't. Ooh, it was.
What's this?
I don't remember anything about this game. I don't remember anything of what it was trying to do. Mm-hmm. Even whenever I was reading through it, I was like, I don't remember backing this, but I did. And obviously, so Feralis, if you're not aware, is a traditionally 1v1 deck construction game where you're trying to reduce your opponent's life points from 20 down to 0. There's a lot of these that come out, and the, one still reigning supreme after 30 years is Magic, and unfortunately, no matter what you do, games like this, at least from my standpoint, are going to get compared to Magic.
Yeah, I don't know who these games are for. I don't know, this is a hard niche. I don't know, maybe there's just a culture out there that's into the 1v1s.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I like 1v1s, but they're kind of in the same vein as skirmish games, where it's like, you have to hit almost very specific things for me to end up liking you. Skirmish games can't have too much randomness. They have to have meaningful tactile decisions. 1v1 games have to have back and forth player interaction, like Keyforge. I don't know if I ever played Keyforge with you. That was like the $12.
Once.
Okay.
Once. I don't remember anything about it. I just knew it was not for me.
Yeah, so for 1v1 games, whenever it's just I do everything on my turn, then I sit back and watch you do everything on your turn, those kind of card games are not for me. Luckily, Feralis does have ways for players to interrupt another player's turn. Mm-hmm. So this game does have some stuff going for it. Unfortunately, I think it falls short of the mark for me, anyway. But the first thing I want to say is this art is insanely good.
Let's talk about some of the good stuff.
Yeah. The art is amazing. Like, I think it is easily this game's selling point. Just like every card, like when you're looking at its call state,
I always like good meaty cards. And did it come with the sleeves?
It did.
Good.
I mean, obviously you had to pay for them, but yeah, they have unique sleeves. Yeah, they didn't just freely give out sleeves.
That's how you make your money in board games. You have to just add the extra elements. Oh, did you want metal dice?
Yeah,
Here's $30.
Yep.
And
you wanted an art.
Give it to me. Put it on my fucking nipples. Like fucking coins.
It's not a liquid. It's great. The art on the Aesyr, on the spells, on the creatures is top notch. Because the cards have a call and awaken side, so they're double sided, or I guess not double sided, but they can be rotated. For being like, this dormant state to this, like, here's its true form. And I love the fact that it's clearly the same creature. It doesn't just morph into something else that's like, this isn't even the same art. Like, you're like, oh, that's what that is, and that's what it looks like awakened. Like, I would play cards in their awakened state just to be like, here's this motherfucker. Like, here's the that I just summoned. So that's easily the best thing. The second best thing in this game is I actually think they did a really good job making the decks feel different from one another. We have played all the core sets. There's a few expansions you can get of different factions, but I do feel like when you're playing just those decks, those cards, they do feel like they synergize off one another really
so
well.
Your dragons, your big, slow, chunky boys.
Yes, the
demons are like aggressive, high damage.
Yeah. The Skrill were about having quick creatures that come out that shorten the life of the incubation, so they keep hatching.
Okay, nice.
And then the
Rostis, which are very sliver-like, is kind of the observation I did when we were playing, is they all seem to have, a good number of them have buffs that affect their other boys.
Right.
Either on death, on summon, when they kill another creature, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's all really cool. And then on top of that, you have the deck construction part of having rules on you can't have more than 4 factions.
I do like it's structured. I guess I'm going a little too deep there. Just the structure of the game is unique. I do like that it gives you choices without being too overly complicated. It's like you get your core deck.
Yeah, whenever you're just wanting to learn how a deck works, you just remove one of each card, and you have your 20-card deck. It's also a 20-card deck, not a 40 or 60 card, or if you're doing Commander for Magic, it's not a 100-card deck.
Right.
But at the same time, to counteract that, it's only monsters.
True.
True. I mean, you have your spells, which is something that's a little bit different. Your spells are out.
Mm-hmm. And they're static.
And
I can see them. I know when it's coming down.
Exactly.
Short of you using what were they called?
Catalyst.
Catalyst.
Yeah, the Catalyst tokens. So, and then also, this game does a little bit that's a positive for probably some people, is that it has imperfect information. Like in Magic, when you're playing, I just can see how many untapped lands you have and be like, he probably has a counter, but you have no way of knowing, albeit from cards that say I can look at your hand or whatever. Mm-hmm. In this game, I can see that your spells are coming down. I can see what's in the 0, so I can see what you can pop off. I don't know what creatures are coming, but I know you popped a 6 down, and then it's slowly coming down, so it's like, that's probably going to be a problem. So it has a little bit of information that you as a opponent can kind of be like, well, this is what they're gonna do. So that's cool. Here's my biggest thing with this game, and we'll talk about its biggest uniqueness, which I think is cool in theory, but in practice doesn't work for me. But I feel like they made critical decision points just to be different from Magic.
Yeah,
that's like my biggest negative on it, is you made that decision because you didn't want to copy Magic, is how it feels. Now, I don't know anything about this designer or this team, the publisher Dear Games. They maybe have never played Magic. I'd be very surprised if they made a game like this without even considering that. But it feels like, oh, there's no summoning sickness. Well, there's summoning sickness in Magic. Oh, you can directly attack the opponent. The opponent's Aesyr. That's... you can't do that. I mean, you do that in Magic, but people block with their creatures. The deck is only creatures, so your spells are face up. So it feels like that they were just trying to go out of their way to not make it be like Magic, and because of that, kind of had it fall flat for me. So
I feel like it was kind of definitely more of a lean to the casual, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your base deck. You like this flavor, this build type, how they combat, cool. And then you could just do some minor ways of modifying it through your Aesyr or your spells. Yeah. So, and I thought that was an interesting take.
The Aesyrs having abilities are cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they're certainly very different.
And I honestly, so that, again, kind of reminds me a little bit of Commander, because when you play Commander in Magic, you're pretty much building your entire deck around that commander, and your commander also dictates what cards you can have in your deck. I wish the Aesyr in this game went further than just divine spells, because, like, if you're going to take NORAD the Oracle, for example, it'd be cool. It tells you what kind of divine spells. Hey, you can choose from these 3 types up to a value of 13. I wish it would also do that for the creatures. Like, I like the idea of NORAD the Oracle only being good. You can use Skrill. You can use Skrill and whatever these guys were called again. Rostus and this.
So yeah, you could just custom make your own deck.
Yeah, your deck could be out of any faction.
That's true.
There's rules. I mean, obviously you can have so many rares and yada yada yada. But your deck could be of any faction that you want. And this is just an idea that I have, but I wish they would have leaned more into the Aesyrs than just being like, here's their catalyst and here's the spells they can use. Because I really like their abilities, although I think NORAD the Oracles is just way more annoying. And again, kind of, they made that ability just because they have a mechanism in this game with no summoning sickness, so they could have someone's ability kind of make your opponent's characters have summoning sickness.
Yeah. I have to say, I maybe it's because I played Magic, and I feel like most cards, I mean, as I've limited experience with trading card games. I played a touch of Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, and then I did a little bit of Magic in did a little bit of myth in college.
That's what it feels like sometimes. Okay, look, I just need this one card, man. Like, what do I have to do? Like, give me that card and I'll make you see heaven.
Yeah. God, I've lost my point. Play a little bit of them. Oh, yeah. Summoning Sickness and why that's in both of them.
Yeah.
Is just like, it feels kind of shitty, you know? Like, I'm like, I dumped him down, and if it wasn't for her ability, I would have just one-shot
win.
you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't feel super good. It's like, because you don't know how my deck operates.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how your deck operates. And if you were to just, like, shit down 4 cards, I'm like, you're dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and
I mean,
like,
knowing it, and like, okay, I can prep to avoid this.
Yeah.
I can see that just as a gameplay comfort.
Right.
Just because it doesn't feel good to get obliterated blindly.
Yeah, and it's funny. That's actually a really good point that you bring up, because it's like you don't know what you have until it's gone. Mm-hmm. So it's like when people are like, "Why is summoning? Why can't I just attack on the first turn?" Okay, let's remove that. I win.
I just dealt 8 damage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use double strike, and yeah, with this one creature does 20 damage, and I just win. Mm-hmm. Well, can I block? No.
I mean, I guess to replace that, they did the time tracker.
Yes.
So it's like, so you know something's coming.
Yeah. But,
and it's like you can see the catalyst, so you know something's coming.
Right.
And I guess you can prepare for it in that measure.
But normally I'd agree with you, but again, they made some really odd decisions in that everything in your arsenal is limited. Like, normally if, like... Yeah, the incubation system. So we'll talk about that real quick. That is this game's biggest uniqueness. I think it's a cool idea. I think it needs more time to cook and way more playtesting, because it's a neat idea. Like, you don't summon creatures, you don't pay mana, you don't pay life, you don't pay any other weird resource. Your resource is time. So if your creature you want to bring out has a 2 incubation time, that is 2 real turns, naturally, for it to come out. But there are ways to make that faster, but the ways to make that faster are limited. Your Aesyr gives you only a certain number of catalysts with a very specific value that once used are gone. So I feel like they wanted to have players make really informed decisions. But that's kind of like when you're playing a cooperative game and you have event cards and you're like, oh, we want to use this at the perfect time, but the perfect time never shows up, so you never end up using it. That's how the catalyst tokens feel for me. It's like, I might as well just use them so I can get creatures out. If my opening hand is value 6s, then what? I'm just doing nothing for 6 whole fucking turns until I can finally play the game? No, you're going to use your catalyst, but then now your hand is all short of 2s and 1s and 3s. And it's like, well, I'm all out of catalysts. You killed all my creatures, so now I'm again back to waiting.
Yeah.
Because you happen to kill all my creatures, not this particular instance, but it's like, in that instance, you kill all my creatures because you finally got to summon, then I just again have to sit here and wait and be like, well, I guess I won't play. And I find that to be incredibly restrictive. The Summoning Sickness, and see, because they just didn't want to be like Magic, because it would be kind of stupid to have this creature who has a call of 4, meaning it goes in the 4 slot, for me to wait 4 turns, and then it comes out, and then I have to wait 1 more turn to do anything with. Right? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So I don't think they can have their cake and eat it too. I definitely think that Summoning Sickness needs to be a thing, because Summoning Sickness allows your opponent to see what you just shit on the board and try to react. And then, like you said, oh, I can see a bunch of, creatures coming down. Well, I only have my divine spells, so if they're not in the 0 and I had to prep the catalysts ahead of time and I don't have them, then I can't react. So then you can't just dump them on the board and win. So I just find that to be completely ill-designed. Because I just don't. I don't like the I hate the defense. I think the defense tokens are the dumbest shit.
Yeah, that is interesting, that you have to assign a defender. You don't just get to block with your creatures. and just sacrifice them, which would already be enough of a pain. But now that you have to assign,
and you only get 3 per game. Mm-hmm. Like once,
it's definitely designed to be short.
It feels that way
because I'm like, you get 5 of these, and it's like, if your opponent is like chucking down their catalyst, you better goddamn be doing the same. Yeah. Because it's like you guys have to match pace. Because if you're dumping out all your attackers, and I got nothing to throw down to block it or to throw back, I'm going to be in a bad way.
Yeah.
Quick.
I mean, we saw it in this last game where I actually was... And it was a really cool turn. This game does have cool moments where it's like, the creatures I had, I popped them out, they enhanced enough, so then I got a 6 all the way down to a 4, popped a 4 catalyst, popped it out, brought another creature out that brought that 4 back, and then I had like 4 creatures out in like the first round. It's like, that's fucking cool. Mm-hmm. But then I swung, because you had to wait for all your creatures to come out. And then, like, in 2 rounds, I had you down to 4. But then once you finally was able to get your creatures out, it was like, okay, and then you killed all of mine, and then I'm back to... I'll put this one down at a 2. It doesn't matter, because I can't willingly block.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if the Aesyrs had more consistent ways to manipulate time, like if like just a static, like they have to have that ability. Mm-hmm. I feel like that definitely feels a little more strategic. Yeah. Our previous set of Aesyrs, I could modify sacrificing life. He could modify by lengthening others and shortening.
Yeah,
another.
I lengthened one and then shorten another.
So I felt like that added a little more...
It almost feels like you should have more creative ways to manipulate time versus just, hey, I give all your creatures summoning sickness specifically to her.
Yeah, in this matchup, neither of us had that ability, so all we had to go off of was our catalysts.
Exactly. And they have the catalyst idea, but then they also have abilities that, like Shard, like this one has a Shard 5, recharge and exhaust the catalyst by 5. It's like, yeah, I get that could be cool in your system. Unfortunately, like, that ability only exists because you designed a poor system. Like, I shouldn't have to recharge Catalyst because that shouldn't really be a thing. Like, what they should have done, instead of having things be permanent, why not have a cooldown system? Like, your divine spells come back. Like... Why don't defense tokens come back? Like, I mean, yeah, okay, so keep it to where you're assigned. He dies. This defense token goes into a cooldown system that after, like, this goes into your incubation. Mm-hmm. So this also comes down. Once I hit 0, I get my defense token back. Yeah. I spend my 4 catalyst, that pops into the 4. Eventually, it comes back. Yeah. That sounds like that would make more sense. It would let you use your restrictive boosts, while also still allowing things to kind of let players use your system more. But once they're gone, then the time element, that's where I'm saying it just completely nosedives. It's strategic at the beginning of the game, but then it's once you're exhausted, this is kind of like, all right, like, who has more creatures on the field? So that's why I don't like it. Again, I think it's a unique system that can work if there was more time and more playtesting. But I do think you hit the nail on the head. I think this game is designed to be short, which makes it feel like they want it to be more like Modern or Standard and Magic, which are supposed to be short. I mean, you have 20 health instead of 40 like Commander.
Right.
But that also, for me as a player, I would fucking hate if I had to construct a deck. This is why I don't play Standard or Modern in Magic. If I construct a deck and you win turn 3, I'm fucking done. It's like, I just spent 2 hours making a deck, and you just won turn 2. No thank you. So I feel like that they kind of go against their own system as well. Hey, the resource of this game is time. Not a lot of it, though. Because abilities also aren't clear. So now we're getting into it.
Oh, yeah, we do need to talk about that.
Massive.
They need to clarify the timing of abilities.
Yeah,
like any time in a card game, you need to be incredibly clear. And it's like, the rule book's a little...
It's awful.
Yeah.
It is so bad. Okay. When you have a question, and it's, like, it's not explained. Like, you had a really good one on...
Like the timing of the summons.
Yes. If I have 4 creatures in my 0, do they all
Yeah, and if I catalyst, like, is that coming out first? Are they all coming out? If they have the summoning abilities, are benefiting? Like, if I could have made them all simultaneous, that would have been optimal.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Or is it 0, that comes out, that summon ability pops off, there's nothing there. Okay, now a new one comes out, that summon ability affects only that one. Then it kind of, does it cascade? Or is it all, hey, these catalysts are interrupting, so we actually have a stack rule, but not as good as the stack rule. So then, yeah, they all go into 0, then they all come out simultaneously. Therefore, all 4 of their summoned abilities pop off simultaneously. And hold on, let me wait 20 minutes while I search for the shittiest attack health modifier system I've ever fucking seen in the worst plus and minus tokens in the world. These tokens are atrocious. Why the hell? No system. If this is a -3, why isn't the other side a +3?
Exactly. And we got a -2 with a +4.
Yep.
And then here's a +2 with a -3.
A -4 with a -3.
Yeah. +5 with a -1. Yeah. So there's no symmetry.
No. Also, those are used for your health, for your attack, for your speed. That it's like on the playmats, they have spots for speed and thing modifiers. So it's like, well, you obviously don't go up to 10 or anything. So it's like, do I take a +5 and another +5 and I stack them? Then it's even more annoying. Well, what's his attack? Oh, let me look through the fucking pile. It is awful. And then if you're not using a playmat, if you don't have them, and you're trying to keep track of health, and you just kind of you just put them on the card. That it's like, hey.
And then it's like, was that for my attack? Was that my pile for my speed?
Yeah.
And now, what is my fucking? Oh
no! Okay, you won, man. I'm scooping. I don't care. Yeah, I literally when you had all those abilities that were modifying it, I was like, you win. I just don't want to sit here and watch you fiddle with those because it's such a horrible system that's not even clear. And God, and again. They wanted to just be different for the sake of being different. Like, why not have abilities that... because they just didn't want to copy Magic. They had to have a priority. I think the speed thing is super dumb. Like, there's a reason why Magic is just better in every way. To any card game, it's not just against this, but it's like there's creatures with first strike. That means I attack before we attack each other back. Why not have... And, like, if you have a health, you have attack in the defense system. Defense should double as health as well as... So it's like, I shouldn't have to calculate, okay, I have 3 against your speed of 2. Okay, that means I'm going to attack first. I deal 2 damage. Oh, wait, you have shadow defense. So that's half damage.
Yeah, and that definitely gums up the playing that you have to reference that every single time.
Yeah, and so whenever you're saying this game is meant to be short, well then don't gunk it up with useless shit like, speed and then 3 different types of attack and 3 different types of health that all have different half modifiers and full modifiers. With also icons that bleed into the artwork, which is amazing, but if every time I'd go to attack and be like, yeah, I want to kill him, you'd be like, oh, well, he has shadow. It's like, oh, I couldn't see that against the black background. I forgot. Never mind, I'm not attacking him. So every fiddly shit that they have just seems to go against the uniqueness of this game, which ends up making me just not like it. Yeah, and just not having clear. And I get it, this game is...
If they clarified the rules, better tokens, that would just help measure for them right now.
And I get it, you can have stupid things in Magic that use D6.
Oh, for sure.
But... And it's up to the players to kind of dictate, hey, well, this actually has, 8 health or whatever. But not having clarity in the rules just kills any of these games. When you have no idea how things function.
Incredibly specific.
Because that's the other thing.
It's the guy that, pay the guy that's writing your rule book as much as you're getting even the artist. So that way, we all know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and here's another thing, just from when you're wanting people to play your game, obviously, they're not going to go straight into deck construction. Absolutely not. Right. Unless they're... Even if they're veterans of... I've played my fair share of Magic. I've done a few tournaments. I've played against people who've played way more Magic than me. So I could go into deck constructing, but I never would learning a new game. You play the pre-cons before. Like, I wouldn't hand you all the Magic cards in the world and be like, make a deck. You're going to make a horrible deck. But it's like, here's a couple precons so you know what you like. So you're going to play the precons. Or, here's what's really, really dumb. They almost did a good job, but they didn't. They have deck examples, and I like when games do this. Hey, what kind of game do you want to play? Defensive deck, control deck, cool. And if you don't know what control means, then that doesn't do anything for you. But control means you control kind of the state of the game. Aggressive deck or very aggressive deck. Hey, what kind of deck do you want to play? Oh, I like playing defensive, so I'll pick that. Cool, here are all the cards. I like playing control. Oh, wait, you didn't provide enough cards for me to make 2 of these deck examples. So I guess I'll just pick a faction and do the 20 cards. Mm-hmm. That is horrible. Like, because for example, where is it? Because the defense. So you have to
buy another copy if you were to.
Yeah, in these games you should not have to. Like, if you're going to give 4 deck examples and have 4 factions, then you should at the very least be able to make these 4 deck examples, so you can learn how the game works before you go into deck constructing. And I can't find it. I remember I was like, oh, maybe I just misread it. But there are, yeah, right here. Like the rare is where are they? Dang it! Now I can't find it. But I remember I did not have enough cards to be able to make the defense and control deck whenever I tried that last time. So that was annoying. Yeah, I just think that this game just does not work for me. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like annoyed as, because like whenever you are playing it, it works. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying that the game just fundamentally just is unplayable, but
it just compared to the
king.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like I didn't go into this being like, "Ooh, it's not Magic." I mean, because I don't play Magic anymore, right? Anyway, but
he almost said right now.
I did almost say right now.
He's gonna go back to it.
Oh no!
Give it back to
Magic. Oh, the commander. But one thing that just is just really annoying is if you want to do away with summoning sickness, get rid of the defense tokens. Mm-hmm. That's because if I have a bunch of creatures out and you bring a bunch of creatures out, but then you go straight to attacking me, then it's like, oh hey creatures, I summon and control. Guess I'm not doing anything with you. Mm-hmm. Like, that's part of the player interaction of me sitting here and be like, shit, okay. I mean, and that would also take into consideration the health and then the priority and all that. It's like, if you're going to attack with him, it's like, I guess I'll block with him. Yeah, it's chump blocking, but that still removes the creature, because if that still makes hard decisions. Do I want that 10 damage to come through, or do I chump block with a thing that took 6 time to come out? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I'll chump block with this. Cool, it was in its call state. Now it's going to come back. It's still a 6 awakened, so it's not like it's
6 turns.
Another 6 turns. So it's like, yeah, I chump block, but it's like, at what cost? Yeah, I saved myself 10 damage, but okay, all my catalysts are spent. But then if they did a cool system, incubation system with the catalyst and defense tokens, where it's like, yeah, I'll block with this, it's going to become a 6 awakened, but next when it's my turn, my 4 is coming back, in my 0, so it's going to come back ready. So haha, now it's only going to be 2, and now I actually have a creature that can come out that comes out with 1 that knocks it down, and now I can get it back out. You have a really unique time manipulation system that is completely different from anything. But you've squandered it by making stupid defense tokens and restrictive catalysts. And that's why I think this game doesn't work. And maybe innovation always isn't a good idea. Just don't be innovative. Go with the...
Just do the same thing.
Yeah, just do the thing. Man, I would love to see this art somewhere else, though.
Yeah, no, this gorgeous game. Like, my main thing, clean up the rule book.
Yeah.
And definitely... fucking tokens. guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful cards. I like the card quality is awesome.
Yeah.
I like the sleeves.
I love the
Very
the call and awaken system. I think that's really cool.
Where they have the different effects, and it's like, okay, I could bring him out in my awaken first if I wanted that ability.
But if he dies, then he's gone.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely unique. Definitely needs a little cleanup. Like,
I'm actually perfectly fine with the deck just being monsters and you
I like that. Yeah.
Because then the spells come back.
So I guess our main issue is too restrictive here.
Yeah, too restrictive with Catalyst and Defense.
Shitty tokens, shitty rulebook.
Yeah. Which unfortunately is like the biggest thing about the game.
Summoning, something with the initiative, the summoning sickness. Like speed kind of cloys things up. The speed and the attack types are kind of like...
it muddies up combat for no reason.
Yeah, because another thing to keep track of, like when, I guess just reference Magic is like, say, in attack, like you said, first strike goes first.
Yeah.
So if they have higher attack than their defense, it goes down. But these guys, you have to tabulate, okay, is that a 4? Is that a 3 versus my 2? Okay, then this guy will attack this guy.
And the fact that they have health that you have to monitor is also kind of bad design. It makes it very fiddly. Again, and in Magic, you just have to do the damage. If you don't do the damage, then they
heal right back.
Yeah, they live.
And that's cleaner. Now it's like, this is a lot of tokens to keep track of.
And to be fair, this game came out this year in 2023. It is the core set. I don't know this designer. I don't know this publishing team. And I didn't play Magic in 1993. I was just born. So, so over the years, Magic has gotten to that stance, and that's why it's at the top. So this game could 100% come out with another Kickstarter and clean it up completely. I'm not saying this game is has no hope. I think that they are onto something. They have a cool idea. They just either didn't have the resources for playtesting, or they had their friends and family playtest it, and they're like, "Yeah, it's amazing, Luca. Like, you're such a good boy." I hope he doesn't see this. I don't know, but it's like,
we give you a little peck. Juicy.
Thanks, Mom. But like, you need blind playtesters. You need people who play these kinds of games to play it a lot to come out and be like, this doesn't work. Like, if you don't want summoning sickness, that's fine. You can't have defense be restrictive. Otherwise, you're gonna have a purely RNG offensive game where it's like, sorry, all my imagine if I was playing if you were playing the dragon deck and I just popped off all 4 of those creatures. Sorry, you are losing because I can attack and all your 6s are still waiting, and it's like, yep, okay, 6, 5, 4, 3. No, you're already dead. Like, I could kill you with a faster deck before you would even have time to get one big 6 creature out. So it skews it wants to be a hyper aggressive deck, but then why have a defensive deck in here? All playable options should be viable, especially in a deck constructing game. So yeah, I will say this: if this game went back on Kickstarter, I would I'd look at it. I'd be like, let's see if they made any changes. Hey, in Season 1, or in whatever they want to call it, in expansion packs, we made some modifications. Now, here's the new updated rules to our... I mean, it's not a CCG, because it's not a collectible card game, but here's to our version of a CCG. We've omitted this, we've tweaked this. Cool. And I'd play it. I would actually take time to learn the cards and deck construct if it was... I don't know. I would actually say that, because there's also another couple, if you want to keep defensive tokens because you want to pull something to that massive dragon that has 15 health, you can keep the defense tokens, but you also could do it in a way where her ability, direct assaults, that's just a passive, which again would be kind of, maybe not do summoning sickness where your creatures can't attack at all, but they can't attack your Aesyr. Her passive ability should just be a rule. Because then it's like, yeah, you can still attack me. So you're not just waiting an extra turn after waiting 6 turns. So you can still do something with them, but you just can't attack my life points.
Yeah.
Or make direct assault an ability. Where it's like, hey, this creature can attack the Aesyr's life points directly.
So it's direct assault.
Yeah.
That's the...
Right here. A direct assault is when a creature attacks the opposing Aesyr's life point directly.
Gotcha.
If a defender enters the battlefield before the attack actually damages the opponent's life points, it is no longer treated as a direct assault. So her ability is like, it's basically giving creatures summoning sickness specifically against her. That should just be a rule. And if you want to have her be an oracle, you make it to where their creatures can't attack when they come out. Pretty powerful, but yeah, there's way too many negatives here. That just kind of, it's like, well, I guess this isn't for me. You got anything else?
Nope. Don't want to do.
Okay.
We're good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving Feralis, Obscure Land?
Numbers. I'll give it... I'm liking the 5 and 6. Like, it's very playable.
Yeah.
Awesome art, all that stuff. We covered it. Definitely needs a little help. Yeah, I'll give it like right in the fucking middle. 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 is milk toast as as just. I'm not gonna jump on the other side of the fence. I'm gonna walk that tightrope. It's right in the middle.
I'm not atheist, but I'm not Christian. I'm just too scared to pick a side.
Essentially, I'm just wasting to everyone's time right now. Is what I'm doing. I came here. I'm like, it's there. It's a game. You might enjoy it. You might not, man.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
This is where kind of a score becomes difficult, because this is one of those genres that I can't compare this to a board game.
I feel like, we struggle with this genre.
Right.
The 1v1. I know, because, like, we've chronically had issues with skirmishes.
Yes.
We've chronically had issues with our 1v1 dueling games.
Again, because they're so... Like, once you find the one you really like, then it's like you just have to compare everything to that. Our 1v1 game is BattleCon.
Yeah.
So we kind of compare everything to that. The skirmish game that I really like is Mythic Battles. Mm-hmm. So now I compare everything to that. 1v1 card games, I compare to Magic. But like, what I would give a 5 for a board game is not the same as a 5 for a card game. So I'm actually sitting at a 4 on this one. I think this is a below average, because it's like, while it's unique and has cool ideas, they ultimately hold the game back drastically. And then you add on the bad rulebook. Like, the rulebook does enough to teach you how to play, but if you have any questions, good luck. And if someone says, well, get on the Discord, join forums, absolutely not. Like, I shouldn't have to live on Discord to figure out how to figure out the nuances of your game. And then the token system is just a mess.
Oh God. I don't know who was like, green light that.
Yeah.
Or maybe their fucking manufacturer fucked it up.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
it's a misprint.
Maybe I can give them that benefit, because they need to sue them or some shit.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah. But I will put my 4 with an asterisk that this could go up if they release more content with, drastic...
And a new rulebook.
And then I'm not saying an overhaul of like, hey, remake a game. You can keep what you have here. It just has to be structured, at least for me. Some people might play this and be like, oh, everything is perfect. Great. That's amazing. There are going to be people who love this game. I'm not one of them. And that's okay. I always have to preface these games, because whenever there's no reviews or content on the game, and I'm the one that does it, I'm the one that gets all the hate before everyone else starts
all the flame,
shit.
man,
it's not great.
Gotta love those awkward toxic Gen Con. It's like, oh yeah,
I remember
you did a review on our game.
I did. Which
awkward
one?
silence.
Yeah, you didn't like it. Sorry.
I love all you creatives. You're doing God's work.
Look, you know what? Actually, Scrap this entire card game idea. Make an RPG. I want this art.
It is good art.
Do a boss battler with all these art. Anyway, so that's our thoughts on Feralis, Obscure Land. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.